Anonymous Pinoy Confessions. Kilala ba kita? Hi, I'm Ree, 18, female. I met this boy named Jen from a dating app. He is 28. Last June was our first interaction. At first, it was nothing but casual, though he was very flirty. Since I'm the kind of woman who likes trippings, I convinced him to drive through because I was working as a drive-through cashier at Jollibee that time. I had no idea what he looked like in person or what kind of motor he had, but I was expecting him to come after his gym session. He said around 1 p.m. he would go to the drive-thru. Time passed, and I was so nervous yet excited at the same time because for me, it was thrilling. Around 2 p.m., this one boy wearing all black ordered chicken with spaghetti. Then he suddenly said, 3 p.m. ba out mo niyan? And I was like, ay, sino po kayo, kuya? He replied, ako yung nakakausap mo sa dating app. I was stunned, couldn't even speak, but I just kept smiling. After that, we talked again. He asked if I wanted to sleep over at their house. And since I was a YOLO girl with a rebellious side, I agreed. Of course, that night something happened. He was the one who took my virginity. We met 2 times, and in both meetings, we had sex. After a week, I got really anxious because my period was delayed, and I was worried since I had unprotected sex with him. He always used to say, paninindigan kita, I love you. Of course, I didn't fully believe those spur of the moment words because I knew he was just infatuated. But when my period got delayed, we had a misunderstanding. After his gym session, he went to my house and bought me a pregnancy test. Thankfully, it came out negative, and I felt so relieved. The next day, my menstruation came, but after that, he ghosted me. Like, what the fuck, bruh? I never got an answer as to why. So I did not care anymore and just unfollowed him. 2 months later, I still kept talking about him to my friends, that I missed him, his generosity, and the way he cared for me. One night, I decided to follow him again. And what the fuck? Within seconds, he followed me back too. He even sent me a message saying, kilala ba kita? And I replied, oo, kilalang kilala. Gusto mo balik ko jacket mo? From there, we got along again and ended up having sex once more. That time, I felt like I was falling in love with him because of his actions. As I said, he was generous and caring, but everything turned upside down. It seemed like he was not convinced by my confession that I liked him. And until now, I still don't have clear answers as to why he needed to say, I love you, if all he felt was just infatuation. Archives. I'm in my late 20s. He is my first boyfriend. I take care of myself properly since then. Ingat na ingat ako sa sarili ko at alam kong disenteng babae ako. May pinag-aralan at maayos na career. May mga nanligaw at nagkagusto sa akin, but I did not say yes to those. I found a connection to this man. Hindi ko alam if ever na-feel nyo na to. I met a lot of guys pero sa kanya lang talaga napanatag ang loob ko. I'm smart, so I rarely get this kind of connection na makakasabay sa wavelength ko intelligently and emotionally. We fucking understand each other to the core, that deep. Everything goes smoothly. He treats me well like a queen, respects me so much, gentleman, smart, stable, provider mindset. Lahat ng gusto ko sa lalaki, nasa kanya. So I said yes as his girlfriend. I said to myself and even my friend said na too good to be true. Now, what's the twist? I never wanted to check his phone but he did it to me first. He checked mine while I was sleeping. He found nothing. I was pissed because my privacy was invaded. I have nothing to hide. It's just I'm not comfortable yet sharing with him my messages to my family or my personal life. No other guys involved. Third month of being girlfriend-boyfriend. We were in vacation. I cannot sleep and he was sleeping and I moved a lot but he did not wake up. So I checked his phone. I read everything. It was hidden pa in an archive. To cut the story short, he has a wife, 4 kids. Grabe yung naramdaman ko. My perfect boyfriend is someone's husband. I didn't know I was a mistress all this time. Nasusuka ako pag naalala ko yung araw na yun. I packed my things but we were in a secluded province and there's no way for me to commute. Malayo at di ko alam ang lugar. I wanted to leave him but I need to go back safely to Manila. So I pretended I didn't know anything yet. I hugged him and did a lot of movement and talked to him so he would wake up. I told him I had a dream that he has another girl. He said it's just a dream. I wanted to pretend pa na I don't know anything so he can drive us back to Manila. Because if I confront him, it will affect him so much. We need to be safe first. But I couldn't. It was too heavy. So he was denying it pa. Then I immediately asked him to choose. Not because I wanted him to choose me, but because the wife must know na he is cheating. We called the wife on a loudspeaker. I thought he would not do it because they have 4 kids, but he did it. He talked to his wife saying he wanted a divorce. They married outside the Philippines, so yes, there's a divorce. He is in love with someone else. The wife's voice was shaking but managed to ask, "Confirmed?" He said yes. We were on the way to Manila. I still asked him that I'm breaking up with him. I was crying the fucking whole time. Just 2 hours after driving, he stopped. He couldn't take it anymore too. He cannot drive properly. He is in pain too. He told me he is divorcing his wife so he is asking for a chance. I wanted to go home really. I need to comfort him pa in order for him to drive us safely. I was crying and talking to him calmly. We need to drive and let's go home first and we'll talk properly. We talked when we arrived. He was crying for the first time. He is a tough guy and he doesn't want to lose this kind of connection he found with me. It's the last straw for him to be happy. He told me before me, their marriage was falling apart. His wife cheated first, and after that, they cannot go back to what they were used to. His parents and friends advised him to stay in the marriage for the kids. He followed it, but it feels dead inside him. He doesn't want their children to see them together because of them. He cannot love them much if he is not genuinely happy. I told him I know this is so wrong, but he told me he's doing it right. He filed for a divorce the moment he got back to their house. They are in the process now. I really don't know what to do. Should I still continue this and accept him and be true to our feelings? Or should I follow the norm to get out of this situation because it's morally wrong? Please don't judge me. My real feeling is, I really love him. Ire-report kita. Hindi naman ako kagwapuhan, pero tall, dark, muscular, and chinito na resort nurse. Dark dahil na rin sa sports ko na parating babad sa dagat at araw. Nangyari ito last December 2024. Full packed ang buong resort. The usual na maraming nagkakasakit o may iniindang sakit kaya pinapapunta ako sa villa to assist. May guest na napapansin ko na parati lang nagpapatawag dahil may sugat ang anak niya, sakit ulo ng asawa at iba pang symptoms na hindi naman emergency. Pangalawang araw, ganun pa rin. Pero nagpapatawag siya na siya lang mag-isa sa room at yung asawa at anak niya nasa pool sa labas. Kadalasan, security ang kasama ko sa villa visit. Nasa labas lang ng villa naghihintay. Pero sa pagkakataong yun, umalis ang security dahil pinapunta sa main hall. Kaya ako lang ang naiwan para mag-interview sa guest. Sabi ko, "Sir, kamusta? May sakit pa rin po ba ang asawa niyo? Need pa po ba ng gamot?" Sagot niya, "Ay okay lang siya. Ang galing mo nga eh, hindi na sumasakit ang ulo niya." Tapos sinundan niya ng tanong, "Straight ka ba? Pumapatol ka ba sa straight?" Sagot ko naman, "Straight po ako. May girlfriend pero wala pang experience sa bi relationship." Biglang sabay hawak sa legs ko. "Pwede ka ba mamaya? Papapuntahin ko ang mag-ina ko sa restaurant. Tapos dito lang ako. Sasabihin ko susunod lang ako. BJ lang kita. 5K. "Naku sir, bawal po yan. Pasensya na po, di rin po ako pumapatol sa lalaki." Sagot ko. Pero ayun na nga. Kinagabihan, tumawag siya sa direct line sa clinic at sabi, "Ano, game ka ba?" Sinabihan ko ng front office na nahihilo ko. "Isang BJ lang. Kung hindi, ire-report kita." Ayun, pumunta ako at nangyari nga. Tapos kinabukasan, nangyari ulit. Hindi ko maintindihan ang sarili ko, pero inisip ko na lang kahit na paano may 10K na ako. Pero 1 week din ako hindi makatulog sa takot. Ito pa ang nakakapagtaka. Gwapo, sobrang puti at gym rat ang katawan ng lalaki at maganda ang asawa. Hindi mo talaga mahahalata na bakla eh. Buti na lang wala talagang report hanggang ngayon. Free wifi with aircon. Hi, I'm Yuri, male, 17 years old. When I was 13, nagbakasyon ako dati sa bahay ng kuya ko sa Manila. Ang setup ng bahay nila kuya, yung ground floor at second floor, doon sila nakatira. Tapos yung third floor ay pinapaupahan nila. Isang araw, walang tao noon sa bahay dahil nagtatrabaho si kuya at ang asawa niya. Sobrang boring at wala akong makausap. At higit sa lahat, napakainit. Naglalaro ako noon ng ML sa hagdan. Dahil doon lang may mahangin na pwesto. Habang naglalaro ako, dumaan yung lalaking nakatira sa third floor, si Kuya Clarence. Nung una, kinakausap niya lang ako, inuusisa kung anong ginagawa ko at kung bakit nasa hagdan ako. Sinabi ko lang na nagpapalamig ako sa hagdan dahil doon lang may hangin. Inaya niya ako sa third floor kung saan siya nangungupahan dahil merong aircon tapos may wifi pa. Syempre, pumayag ako dahil makakapag-ML ako sa may aircon tapos naka-wifi pa. Pagpasok ko sa loob ng inuupahan niya, maganda at komportable, lalo na sa sala. Kaya doon kami tumambay. Siya lang daw ang nakatira doon at wala raw siyang kinakasama. Habang naglalaro ako, bigla niya akong tinanong, "Gusto mo nood tayo ng Bold?" Hindi ako sumagot. Kunwari hindi ko narinig at busy ako sa paglalaro. Pinatigil niya muna ako ng sandali at pinapanood yung Bold sa cellphone niya. Wala na akong nagawa kundi manood. Pagkatapos ng video, syempre tinigasan ako at nakaramdam ng init. Bigla akong pinahiga sa sofa ni Kuya Clarence at doon, sinubo niya ang ari ko. First time ko labasan nun at sobrang sarap pala sa pakiramdam. Ganito ang ginawa niya sa akin araw-araw kapag tumatambay ako sa kanila. Habang naglalaro ko ng ML, bini-BJ niya ako. Hindi ko pinaalam sa kuya ko ang mga pangyayari kasi malalagot ako. Natapos lang ang lahat ng yun nung kinailangan ko nang umuwi sa amin dahil magpapasokan na. Missing. I am a 19-year-old girl from Tarlac City. He is 18, turning 19 from Pangasinan at isa siyang Marino. Kaibigan siya ng friend ko and nagkakilala kami through my friend. Palagi niya akong inaaya makipagkita sa kanya dahil gusto raw niya ng makakausap dahil malungkot siya. Pero lagi akong tumatanggi. Pero this week lang, napapayag niya ako dahil lagi niya akong kinukulit. Walang humpay na messages at call sa Instagram ko kahit naka-restrict siya sa akin. Fast forward, nagkita kami dito sa place ko, sa Tarlac City. 1 AM na nang magpangita kami sa place ko dahil galing ako sa parents ko. At siya naman ay galing pa from Pangasinan. Sabi niya, isang gabi lang daw siyang makikituloy at aalis din siya agad. Pero inabot siya ng 4 days sa place ko dahil nag-e-extend siya. Sa pang 3rd day niya sa place ko, may nakita akong post about him. Missing. I told him that his family was looking for him. Ang sabi niya lang is naka-airplane mode daw kasi siya. Sinabi ko sa kanya na umuwi na siya dahil hinahanap na siya sa kanila. Pero hindi pa rin siya umuwi. And before the missing post, he forced me to have sex with him during the first night. And sa tuwing mauulit yun, magmamakaawa akong wag na. Pero hinahawakan niya ng mahigpit yung 2 kamay ko. Nangyari yun ng 4 na beses sa 4-day stay niya sa akin. Inassure naman niya ako everyday na seseryosohin namin yung nasimulan namin. And he promised me na babalik siya weekly sa apartment ko. Pero nung umalis siya kanina pabalik sa Pangasinan, binlock and in-unfollow na niya ako sa Instagram. I feel betrayed and I have a lot of unanswered questions in my mind. Isa na dun is, na-rape ba ako? 500 Days of Summer. I am a girl who used to be curious about how love felt like. I always wondered how relationship works at a young age. Naiinggit ako dati na wala namang pumapatol or nagkakagusto sa akin. Kapag Valentine's Day, may mga flowers or letters ang mga classmates ko and I wished to experience it. Years went by, naranasan ko na magkaroon ng mga nagkakagusto sa akin. They would pursue me, pero I really had trust issues from guys from personal experience, kaya I ended up rejecting them. I found myself wanting validation from men, and that's when I started using Omegle. Since 2016, I'm a user of the website, and I can say na marami na ring dumaang lalaki sa buhay ko, even outside Omegle. Pinapayagan ko sila manligaw, but after weeks or few months, papatigilin ko na kasi walang emotional connection or sa mga lalaking last lang ang habol sa akin. 2022, and it was the final semester of my 3rd year college. I was a nursing student. While having an online lecture, I was bored, so I decided to multitask. Nag-omegle ako while doing my lecture. That's when I met a guy who was 2 years older than me. I was 22 and he was 24 that time. The small talk on Omegle turned to calls and continuous chats on Telegram. He was the first guy whom I felt the most genuine connection with. Walang ligawan na nangyari because we made a deal inspired by the movie 500 Days of Summer. We would act like a couple as in walang label pero parang magjowa kami. Then kung sino unang ma-fall, mauuna siyang umamin. Then bahala na if same feels ba kami. Instead of 500 days, ginawa naming 90 days lang. Kasi as a marupok, hindi ko kakayanin yung ganun katagal na time. And he agreed. And so we did. It was fun. I noticed na parang siya yung unang nafo-fall sa akin. Minsan nadudulas na siyang magsabi ng I love you. Pati ako parang nauhulog na rin. But I did not let my guard down. Kasi baka mamaya, laro lang ang lahat. But despite my hesitations, I saw how a good man he was. Just a month of our deal, we made out multiple times. Pero no sex at all, as he respected my wishes. And wala rin kaming label. Hindi ko kayang ibigay yung sex agad. After 2 months of our deal, we made our relationship official. We were the happiest. Finally, my first boyfriend. Months went by, I proved that he was a really good man. Provider din siya. Hindi man siya nakatapos ng college at wala man siyang trabaho nung naging kami, he always provided me my needs. Siya pa tong nanlilibre sa akin tuwing date namin. At every time na may problema ako sa bahay, lagi niya akong ready saluhin kahit financial man yan. Before we turned a year, nag-away kami ng father ko. Naglayas ako sa bahay namin and I decided to live with my tita sa Bulacan. Jobless, penniless, tambay. My boyfriend provided everything for me. Several times niya ako kung dalawin sa Bulacan with his hard-earned money. And after a month, he decided na iuwi ako sa bahay nila. 2023, we were both employed. We lived our best life together. Waking up with a good morning kiss. Tuwing sahod, we celebrated by eating good food. May inuman session din kami every weekend para kamustahin ang happening sa amin during that work week. Everything was perfect. Not until I noticed the gradual changes in him. Umabot sa puntong napapatanong ako kung bakit hindi na siya yung dating lalaki na nakilala ko. We intentionally made big fights para hindi kami mag-usap for 2 weeks. A lot of breakups have happened at hindi ko na maramdaman yung saya. Para bang kampante na lang siya dahil magkasama kami araw-araw sa bahay nila. Mas masaya siya na kasama ang mga tropa at katrabaho niya sa inuman. Pinapatayan niya ako ng phone para hindi ko siya maistorbo. Iniiwan niya ako sa bahay nila tuwing nag-aaway kami. Nakakayanan niya akong iwan sa bahay nang walang makain, bagay na never kong ginawa sa kanya. I even begged him na makipagbalikan sa akin nung nakipag-break siya last year. It affected me so much, lalo na sa trabaho. He became secretive, he kept lying. Hindi na niya iniintindi lahat ng sinasabi ko. Parang nawalan na ako ng respeto sa sarili ko dahil sa paulit-ulit na pag-disrespect niya sa akin. Pero kahit ganun, mahal ko pa rin siya. Nasa isip ko kasi na iba siya sa mga lalaking nakilala ko. At yun na nga, first love ko kasi. 3 years na kami ngayon. Sinasabi niya na ayaw na niyang maghanap ng iba. At ako na raw yung gusto niyang mapangasawa. But I cannot feel him anymore. I don't think makakawala ako dito if I don't leave this messy situation. Pero hindi ko magawa dahil mahal ko siya. Sobra. Meet my alaga. Hi, I'm already 16. Pero nangyari ito nung 14 pa lang ako. Meron akong tito. Sobrang close ko yung anak niya kasi magpinsan kami. And andun ako lagi sa bahay nila. One time habang nilalaro ko yung tablet ng pinsan ko sa taas ng double deck nila, biglang pumasok yung tito ko sa kwarto at humiga siya sa baba ng double deck. Habang andun siya sa baba ng double deck, naramdaman ko na gumagalaw yung higaan ko. As in umaalog talaga. Kaya naisipan kong silipin si tito sa baba. Pagtingin ko, nanonood siya ng porn habang ginadjakol yung maliit niyang alaga. Like what the heck? Andun ako at hindi ko alam kung paano ko bababa sa kama. Nung time na yun, gustong gusto ko na talaga umuwi. Ang tagal din ng pagsasalsal niya. Tapos biglang may kumatok sa kwarto at tinawag ako. Kaya agad-agad akong bumaba at sinabing, "Wait ma, papunta na po." Hindi ito ang unang beses na nangyari ang kamanyaka ni tito. Maraming beses na rin. Sa hindi ko malamang dahilan, gustong-gusto niyang makita ko yung alaga niyang saksakan naman ng liit. Kaya simula nun, naging bastos na ang pakikitungo ko sa kanya. Alam niyang may sama ko ng loob sa kanya. Meron pa kasing time nun na naginip ako. Sa panaginip ko, naliligo ako tapos kinakatok ako ni tito. Tapos nabuksan niya yung pinto ng CR namin at pinagnasahan niya ako. Alam kong panaginip lang yun, pero parang totoo ang lahat. Hanggang ngayon, walang kaalam-alam ang pamilya ko tungkol sa kababuyang ginagawa ng tito ko kapag andun ako sa kanila. Pinapagalitan pa nga nila ako kapag bastos akong sumagot sa tito ko. Sundot, hatid. Sa US ako nakatira and I've been here for a couple of years already. One day, nag-decide ako mag-scroll sa dating apps just to explore my preferences. I met this black female, maganda, pero nagchuchonky which is hindi naman big deal sa akin since legal yun dito tol. We've talked for a couple of weeks hanggang sa nag-decide siya na makipag-meet and pumayag naman ako. Kaso ang problema, wala pa akong sasakyan nun so hindi ko alam paano makikipag-meet ng patago tol. One weekend, nagiinom kami sa bahay ng tropa. Tamang chill lang. Almost 1 a.m. na rin kami natapos nun. Then habang nagiinom kami, she hit me up saying, "Do you want to meet up in person?" Sabi ko, "I want to but I don't have a car." Nakakahiya naman sa akin kasi alangan naman maglakad ako tol. Then sabi niya, "It's okay, I'ma pick you up and we'll go to my place and I will also drive you back." Aba, sino ba naman ako para tumanggi sa grasya tol? Pumayag ako, then nag-meet up kami sa isang mall. 20 minutes din yung layo ng place niya sa place ko. Naghintay ako until almost 2 a.m. Sabi ko pa, kapag hindi siya dumating, uuwi na lang ako kasi hindi ko naman gawain yun. And first time ko makipag-meet up para makipag one night stand. Finally, dumating na siya at nag-meet kami and diretso agad sa place niya. Humiga muna kami saglit hanggang sa nag-aya na siya na para bang gusto niya na agad akong tikman tol. Pagkapasok ko pa lang sa sasakyan niya. Hinalikan niya ako habang tinatanggal yung damit ko. Syempre ganun na rin ang ginawa ko sa kanya. Tangina, ramdam na ramdam ko ang pagkawet niya tol. Sobrang basa, parang sapa. Libog na libog kami parehas tol. Hanggang sa nag-fuck na lang kami ng super hard and fininger ko siya habang umuungol siya ng malakas. Ginawa namin yun hanggang mag-umaga. Kinabukasan, hinatid niya ako sa place ko. And sabi pa niya, ang galing ko raw tol. And sana raw hindi na kami tumigil. Gagawin pa akong Anli Samgyup. Sheesh. Pero ayun, sobrang benta lang ng experience. Nagka one night stand na ako, libre sundot hatid pa ako tol. Sobrang paldo. Manuel, Quezon. Hello, 35 na ako ngayon. Thunders na. This is a fond memory noong second year high school ako sa all boys school. At kapag all boys school, alam na andyan lahat ng kalokohan. Wednesday yon, 3rd class in the morning. Tanda ko pa recitation yun sa Araling Panlipunan or kung tawagin namin, AP. May recitation kami noon at bilang isa sa mga makukulit na estudyante, syempre hindi ako nakikinig. Tatlo kami ng best friend ko, si Mark, Clifford at ako na hindi nakikinig. Matik na yun, pag may recitation, pinagtitripan namin yung mga kaklase namin at pilit silang pinapatawa habang sumasagot kay ma'am. Alam nyo na yung setup na yun, yung tititigan mo lang yung nagre-recite tapos tatawa na siya, tapos damay na ang buong klase. Ang topic ng recitation noon is buhay ni Manuel Quezon. Yun lang ang tanda ko dahil tulad nga ng sabi ko, hindi kami nakikinig. So habang nanggagago kami ng kaklase, biglang tinawag si Mark ni ma'am. "Mark, mukhang tawang-tawa kayo sa ikinamatay ni Manuel Quezon ah. Baka gusto mong ibahagi sa klase anong ikinamatay niya at para matawa rin kaming lahat." Si Mark biglang tumayo. Sabay tingin sa amin ni Clifford. Yung tingin na humihingi ng saklolo at sagot. Syempre hindi ko alam ang sagot. Tangina, anong malay ko sa ikinamatay ni Manuel Quezon? Basta alam ko nasa 20 pesos siya. Namutla na si Mark kasi hindi niya rin alam ang sagot. Ang pinag-uusapan namin bago tawagin si Mark ay kung anong pakiramdam makahits ng chonky. So ngayon, etong gagong Clifford, biglang bumulong kay Mark. Nag-chonky. Sa kaba ni Mark, dali-dali siyang sumagot at with conviction pa. "Ma'am, nag-chonky po." Aba naman, hagalpak sa kakatawa ang buong klase. Habang si ma'am namumula sa galit. "Anong nag-chonky? Namatay si Manuel Quezon dahil nag-chonky? At paano mo nalaman ang chonky?" Ang gagong Mark, tinawanan lang si ma'am. Hindi rin alam ang isasagot sa follow-up question. Kaya sa huli, nag-end up si Mark sa assistant principal's office. Tapos kami ni Clifford, utas sa kakatawa. Hindi namin inasahang sasabihin ni Mark yun. Gunggong talaga eh. Hanggang ngayon, ito ang naalala naming tatlo pag humihits kami. At kasalukuyang sabog kami habang tinatype ko to. Haha. Second date. Hi, I'm female. This was the most traumatic date I had. Sabado yun. Second date with the guy I met sa college. He is my ideal type and sobrang excited ko sa second date namin dahil yung first date went really well and he really showed his well intentions. Tipo ng guy na date to marry and kapag sinagot ko siya, he will be my first ever boyfriend. NBSB kasi ako. No boyfriend since birth. So pumunta kami sa isang resto. Very nice ambience, ang romantic. Nag-hire pa siya ng magbabiolin. Dun pa lang girl, yes na ako. Tipong sige na, i-mine mo na ako be. Shit, nakakakilig. Sobra. The night was going really well. After the main course, nag-dessert kami. I am not big into sweets, but that night I was all about the vibe. Go lang girl, type of night. After all, ang sarap ng usapan namin. So I had this tiramisu cake and I ordered a hot chocolate on the side. Halfway through the hot choco, tangina, biglang sumama ang tiyan ko. May parang nag-aagawan be sa bituka ko be. Super hilab to the next level. Gosh. Hindi ata magandang combination ng cake at hot chocolate. So ramdam ko na nai-ebs ako. Yung basang ebs be. Nanlalamig na ako and kinikilabutan. Ito yung ebs na hindi mo kayang pigilan be. Mala as the river flows ni Yeruma. So I excused myself and went straight to the toilet. Nailabas ko na and success na. Kaso tang ina, sa sobrang madali ko, hindi ko na napansin wala palang tissue sa cubicle and hindi ko nadala yung purse ko kung nasan yung wet wipes ko. Pati phone ko naiwan ko sa table so hindi ako makahingi ng saklolo. Tang ina, tapos yung klase pa ng inidoro be, walang tank sa likod kung asan yung reserve ng tubig. So wala akong makuhaan ng pangbanlaw ng wet packs ko. So eto na, after ko i-flush yung poop ko, yung malinis na tubig na pumalit, yun ang sinalo ko para hugasan yung puwet ko be. Pucha, maduwal-duwal ako. Siguro mga nakatatlong banlaw ako. Since kada banlaw, need kong i-flush, rinse, then repeat. After nun, naghugas ako ng matindi ng kamay ko before going back sa table namin. Sobrang kaba ko nun baka maamoy niya ako kasi walang sabon yung banlaw ko and nakadress ako be. Pagbalik ko, ang sabi niya, "What took you so long?" Sabi ko na lang, nagretouch ako be kahit naiwan ko yung bag ko sa mesa. Tapos sabi niya, "Kaya pala, you look even more beautiful tonight," and bumango. Tang ina, bumango be, kaya hindi ko na siya pinakawalan after that date. The one I'm glad got away. Hi, I'm 28, female. I was in a relationship with a boy for 7 years and we lived together for 6 years. I can say na all those years okay kami. Bilang lang sa isang kamay yung times na nag-away kami. It was so nice to grow up with the person you love. Sabay kami gumraduate, sabay kami pumasa sa board exams, sabay kaming nakahanap ng work and sabay namin finigure out ang adult life. He was a good boy, never raised his voice, never showed rage, always affectionate, always honest, and always supportive. He's the kind of guy na sasabihan ka ng ang ganda mo and mahal na mahal kita every day. I love that boy so much. I work so hard to show him that I'm a wifey material, that I can take care of him and I will do anything for him. Aside sa okay kami, super okay din kami nung family niya. From the moment I met them, tinrato nila ako na parang pamilya nila, especially yung mom niya. His mom loved me like her own daughter and made me a priority in her life as well. Fast forward to 2024, I got a job abroad. I was so excited kasi yun yung plano namin ever since. Ang plan was, once makaalis ako, kukunin ko siya agad. Then we will start our family kung saan man kami mapadpad. But a week before my flight, he broke up with me. He said so many hurtful things to me na never ko na-imagine na sasabihin niya sa akin. He said he just stayed kasi wala na akong pamilyang mapupuntahan pag hiniwalayan niya ako. And for the last years of our relationship, pakiramdam niya obligasyon na lang niya akong mahalin. Hindi ko maipaliwanag yung sakit, para akong pinatay. How can a man who treated me like a queen just suddenly talk shit about me? Sabi nila, maybe he was just suffering from severe separation anxiety and mental health problems. I still pushed through working abroad, and for 8 months, I was loving him from afar, still looking out for him and checking on him while constantly battling loneliness and my own demons in a foreign country where I know nobody at all. Until December came. Umuwi ako just to fix things and get back with him. But that was when he confessed. He fell in love with another girl. He killed me again for the second time. I never thought he was capable of doing such a thing. 1 month ako sa Pinas. 1 month din akong araw-araw umiiyak. Unti-unting nawawala ng buhay. Then I had to go back abroad again kasi natapos na ang vacation leave ko. The last night we were together, I still begged him to come back to me and I would forget everything he did. But he did not budge. He did not want me anymore. And so, with a heavy heart, I left. Pagdating ko sa apartment ko, I promised myself na I will never let anyone consume me and get the best of me again. Ito pala yung sinasabi nilang kapag nagmahal ka, magtira ka para sa sarili mo. Kasi kapag naubos ka, kahit pagmamahal para sa sarili mo, wala ka na ring maibibigay. I am now in a relationship with a man and I can say, ganito pala ang mahalin. Hindi lang ikaw yung nag-aalaga, hindi lang ikaw yung umiintindi. You can be your true self na kahit tinotoyo ka minsan, yayakapin ka pa rin at sasabihin, it's okay, halika dito, kulang ka lang sa lambing. I never had to work hard to prove to him that I am a good girlfriend or a wifey material. I just showed him my true self na I will not always be at my best and that I will have my bad days too. And yet, he he still thinks so highly of me and loves me so much na para bang mababaliw siya kapag nawala ako. So to everyone listening to this, totoo yung sinasabi nilang if they wanted to, they would. Never settle for less kasi may taong para sa'yo na gagawin ang lahat para sa'yo and will love you just as deeply as you love them. And to my ex, I'm so glad you got away because that led me to the one. Bagong lipat. Hi, I am Sam, female. I was 9 when this happened and here's my story. Nag-umpisa ang lahat nung may bagong lipat sa amin at naging part siya ng friend group namin. May isang bahay kami na lagi naming tinatambayan noon, bahay ng childhood friend ko. May one time na nakatambay kami at naglalaro kami ng board games and nanonood ng movies. Katabi ko yung bagong lipat sa lugar namin. Nakaupo kami sa sahig at yung ibang friend namin nasa sofa. Habang nanonood kami, kumuha ako ng unan para takpan yung legs ko dahil ang lamig ng aircon. Maya-maya pa, may naramdaman akong kamay na gumagapang sa legs ko. Then biglang napunta yung kamay niya sa private part ko. Nagulat ako sa ginawa niya. Bumulong siya sa akin. Pwede ko bang ipasok? Nabigla ako at tumangulang ako sa kanya. Hindi ko rin alam sa sarili ko bakit ako pumayag. Dahan-dahan niyang ipinasok ang daliri niya sa private part ko. Nakaramdam ako ng kiliti. Pakiramdam na noon hindi ko pa maipaliwanag. Sa tuwing tatambay kami sa bahay ng childhood friend ko, palaging nauulit yun. And may one time na nagkayayaan mag-overnight sa bahay ng childhood friend ko. Nagkataon magkatabi kami nung bagong lipat sa amin. At nung oras na para matulog, patay na lahat ng ilaw. Bigla niya ako ulit, fininger. Tapos sabay bulong sa akin, tagilid ka. Ako naman, sumunod lang at naramdaman ko ang alaga niya sa loob ko. Kinabukasan, nung nagbanyo ko, may dugo ang underwear ko. Siya, ang first ko. Munting tagumpay. Hi, male, 16 years old. I have a crush sa pinsan kong babae, si Ate A. 20 years old na si Ate A. Simula bata pa lang ako, gustong-gusto ko na talaga siya. Fast forward, habang tumatanda ako at palagi ko siyang nakakasama, mas lalo akong naa-attract kay ate sexually. Palagi ko sinasabi sa sarili ko, kailan ko kaya siya matitikman? Kadiri man pakinggan pero kasi ang ganda-ganda kasi talaga ni ate. Hanggang sa hindi ko na napigilan at naglakas loob ako na umamin sa kanya. Hindi naman ako nireject ni ate at sinabi rin ni ate na hindi raw siya nandidiri sa sinabi ko kasi may kutob na raw siya dahil madalas akong clingy sa kanya kaya nahahalata niya na. Until one day, last week lang, nagkasama kaming matulog sa kwarto ko. Hindi ako mapakali kasi kaming dalawa lang kaya naman ako na ang nag-first move at nauwi sa ipinagbabawal na romansa. Pero kahit ganun, hindi pa rin nandidiri si ate. Sa wakas, hindi na ako mangangarap na matikman si Ate A dahil sa wakas, nangyari na ang matagal ko nang inaasam-asam. Para sa akin, ito ay munting tagumpay sa buhay ko kahit mali. Troso. Hi, I am male. When I was in first year high school, may mga bago akong kaklaseng nakilala. Ang isa doon ay si Adonis. Inaya ako mag-cutting ni Adonis pagkatapos namin mag-boodle fight sa school. Nag-aya rin kami ng iba pang mga kaklase. First time ko mag-cutting noon. Sumakay kami nila Adonis ng tricycle papunta sa bahay ng isang kaklase namin. Pagkarating namin, since walang tao, dali-daling nakitain si Adonis. Sumakit daw ang tiyan niya pagkatapos namin mag-boodle fight. So habang tumatambay kami at nagpapalamig, biglang lumabas si Adonis at nag-aya na siya agad umalis. Yung kaklase naming may-ari ng bahay ayaw pang umalis dahil halos kakarating lang namin. Pero mapilit si Adonis at may pupuntahan daw kaming tambayan spot. So pumayag na kami at sinabi ng may-ari ng bahay na kukunin niya lang ang cellphone niya. Nagulat kami biglang tinawag ng may-ari ng bahay si Adonis ng pasigaw. Yun pala, iniwan ni Adonis yung inidoro na punong-puno ng tae niya. Ipinalinis niya kay Adonis yung crime scene na tinakasan niya. Sobrang lala ng tae ni Adonis dahil ayaw lumubog kahit anong flush. Parang troso ba naman sa laki. 2 linggo atang hindi tumae si Mokong. Sa laki ng trosong yun, tiyak ko na maluwag na ang tumbong ni Adonis. At dahil nga ayaw lumubog, dinampot ni Adonis at nilagay sa plastic yung troso niya at itinapon niya sa malayong lugar. Matapos nung krimen na yon sa bahay ng kaklase namin, never na kami nagkating ulit at hindi na nagpapansinan si Adonis at yung may-ari ng bahay. Megaphone. Hi, I'm Venus, 24 years old. May boyfriend ako for 8 years. We were college sweethearts. 16 lang kami nung maging mag-boyfriend-girlfriend kami. Since pareho kaming takot sa teenage pregnancy, nag-promise kami na sa kasal na namin gagawin ang bagay na yon. Nakagraduate kami on time. Nag-work kami after a year pa kasi inabutan kami ng pandemic. Hindi pa man din ako nare-regular sa job ko, need ko nang mag-resign dahil nagkasakit ako. Hindi ko na i-specify pero I thought I wouldn't make it. Naoperahan at hindi ako makalakad for a year noon. Pero today, okay na ako. Pero hindi 100% bumalik ang lakas ng paa ko. At tinapat naman ako ng doktor noon. Worst case scenario pa nga ay baka hindi na raw ako makalakad. Nung magkasakit ako, ang dami naming realizations ng boyfriend ko. Naisip din naming itry yung bagay na dapat after pa namin ikasal, gawin. Kasal na alam naming matagal pa mangyayari dahil galing kami sa matinding gastos gawa nung magkasakit ako. Last 2023, on his birthday, nag-attempt kaming gawin yung bagay na yun. Yes, it's consensual. We both enjoyed it. Kami ang first ng isa't isa. Hindi active ang sex life namin since then. Siguro once every 3 months lang namin ginagawa yun. Minsan 5 months pa nga. Na-curious lang talaga kami kung ano ba ang feeling. So here's the tea. Last week na solo namin ang bahay nila. At February this year pa lang ang last sex namin. Nagkayayaan kami at game naman siya. He even canceled his laundry day for that thing. Nagluto lang kami ng lunch. Kumain din, naligo na kami. Hindi kami sabay ha, baka raw may kumatok kasi. Nung umakyat na kami sa kwarto niya, biglang inantok si Loco. Alam ko na magiging kapalaran nito. Hindi titigas ang junjun niya. At hindi nga ako nagkamali. Kahit anong foreplay, ayaw talagang manlaban. Kaya sabi ko, tulog muna kami para naman hindi masayang ang araw. After 2 hours ng tulog, tinry ulit namin. Nag-start sa kiss, then pumatong ako sa kanya para tumigas agad. At sumakses. Naramdaman kong tumitigas ang junjun niya. Nung binabayo ko siya, bigla niyang hinawakan ng balikat ko para patigilin ang pag-horsey ko. Dahil may naririnig daw siyang nagsasalita sa megaphone sa labas. Tabing daanan kasi ang bahay nila. Sino po ang may-ari ng pulang motor? Pakitabi po ang pulang motor. Dadaan po ang prosesyon. Putang ina, ang lala. Nawala ang drive namin. Need niyang bumaba para itabi ang motor niya dahil may prosesyon. Sign ata yun ni Lord na wag na naming ituloy.